Sleeves here with your senior pickleball report. Let's get it going. Changes, turn and face the strange changes. Oh, look out, you pickleballers. With apologies to the late, great David Bowie, change is coming to pickleball. And as human beings, it's pretty evident we're not always great with change. Seniors in particular, because we like things the way they are. Well, our beloved game is about to go through a change. I've heard through the winds, the powers that be, pretty good sources, that rally scoring is coming sooner than we think. Now, what does that mean? Well, for somebody who played a sport that went from side-out scoring to rally scoring, beach volleyball, I have a little bit of insight of what's going on. Back then, people were losing their minds as well over this change to the game. And in the end, it wasn't that big a deal. And by the way, a lot more changed in beach volleyball at that point. We changed the ball, we changed the ball size, the ball material, we changed the size of the court, we put in let serving. All of these things, plus rally scoring, happened in a very short time. And the sport's still great, and people still play it. So, what does that mean? Well, like badminton, like ping pong, and other sports that had side-out scoring, we're going to rally scoring as well. It means shorter games. It means more predictable ends to games because we know the length of the game, because a point is scored on every interaction. What does that mean for serving? Well, this video is not really about a lot of the details, but just to give you a brief background, if you score a point, and it happens every interaction, so if I serve and I score, well then I switch sides. And depending on my score, if my team has an even score or an odd score, just like in playing singles and pickleball, depends on which side of the court you serve from. If you have an odd number score, you would serve from the left side. If you have an even number score, you would serve from the right side. So there's no more two service turns on each side. It just depends on who wins that interaction, that particular point, the opponent or yourself. But that's not what this video is about. It's really about adapting and accepting what's coming to this sport and why that's important. And we'll talk about that next. Hey, if you like this content, consider sharing, subscribing, and commenting. And hey, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a video. Right on. Okay, change. 19th century baseball, the ball could bounce once, and if you caught it before the second bounce, you were out. Kind of a major change. Obviously, basketball used to use a peach basket. Equipment changes. If you look at the beginnings of pickleball, and the paddles were cut out of a piece of wood and were flat, and now we have, space-age materials. So things change in this sport. Youth comes in, the game becomes a little bit different, so on and so forth. And after a while, like in volleyball, there's a group of people, a group of people that play the game that no longer remember the old rules, and the status quo is the current set of rules. The same will happen in pickleball as the game and the equipment progress and move forward. That being said, so what does this mean for you and what does it mean for the sport? Well, for the sport, obviously, it's growing immensely, and court space is becoming a premium on the rec level. So if you're waiting for a game, you may not have to wait longer with rally scoring. And this is happening already in some places, in some clubs, in some parks. On the higher level, pro level, TV level, it's easier to predict timeouts. So sponsorship is a little more into knowing when things are going to happen and when they can promote their stuff, so to speak. So these are things that are coming. For you as an individual, I think what ultimately has to come to you is this is something that we have to adapt to. And in all honesty, like I mentioned earlier, it's really not that big a deal. The same people were winning the games in volleyball that were winning it when it was side-out scoring as when it went to rally scoring. The points were still intense. The strategies were very similar. You think the strategies would change a lot, like people wouldn't be as aggressive, but you'd be surprised. People adapt and they find a way to make the game work for them. So that's what I'm saying here. If you're a beginner, it's a lot easier to actually learn the game. The scoring will be a lot easier to learn because, well, there's a point during every interaction, and you don't have to worry about all the numbers and, who's serving here and who's serving there. You look at the score. If it's odd, you serve a particular side of the court. If it's even, you serve a particular side of the court. When the point's over, depending on who won the point, that's which side serves. So on and so forth. Speaking of beginners, TNC Network, our sponsor, has a new affiliate. And if you want to get people involved in pickleball at a very basic level, A11N is a company that has introductory, really good equipment for people who just want to get a taste of what pickleball might be. And if they like it, they can go further along like the rest of us and go crazy and buying a lot of paddles and balls and so on and so forth. But if you want to get somebody started and give them a taste, A11N is a good chance to do that. And when you log into the site and you'll see kind of what they have, there's a 10% discount for that. So check it out. TNC Network is our sponsor. We really appreciate them. We appreciate their affiliates. And hey, at the end of the day, the game's still going to be great. So let's pickle.